watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Beerus, the God of Destruction. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me, or else I'll Hakai you from existence. Oh, and to make sure to watch the entire video all the way through, and to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter. Whis, enough. On to the video.
So with Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 93 now officially in the history books, the overall retelling of the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie events continue to unfold, with Broly now being shown having to train with Goku, with everything now slowly beginning to unfold as Piccolo preps in coming up with a plan to stop the Red Ribbon Army from activating Cell Max. This only now further goes on to beg the question on how different the overall manga events are going to be by comparison to that of the film, along with further going in depth in seeing the overall training take place involving Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. As a quick reminder before we go deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to the channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single video posted on the channel, as well as giving this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you simply enjoy the content being shown within the Dragon Ball Super manga and are excited to see what the overall direction of Dragon Ball Super is going to be going forward. And if you would like to learn more and catch up on the previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters, then be sure to go ahead and click down below in the description box in checking out the official Dragon Ball Super manga playlist, to where not only would you be able to catch up on all of the previous manga chapters that you guys may have missed, but you could also check out some of the previous moments that have unfolded and which had brought us to this very moment in time. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for your support, and now let's dive straight into the video. We kick off Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 93 with the continuation of Broly being shown having to train with Goku on Beerus' planet, as with the overall battle involving the two now seemingly getting even more intense than how it was before. It was just as Broly was now shown furiously attacking Goku, where the narration then went on to add, "This is Broly, one of the few surviving Saiyans and one with incredible latent potential. Envious of young Broly's power, King Vegeta had him exiled to a remote planet. For 41 years, he and his father had lived out meager lives. One day, Limo and Chilai of Frieza's army had found them by chance. Having later joined with Frieza, the two Saiyans headed for Earth. Life on Earth had been peaceful for a time, but just after the Tournament of Power, Goku and Vegeta had now found themselves battling against Broly, who initially had struggled against them. In which, interestingly enough, as we only from that point then see how Blue Goku was battling against Ikari Broly, we finally now get to see the manga version of what the events involving Frieza and Paragus had looked like, as Paragus went on to further address Frieza by then telling him, "We're in trouble! He'll snap and go berserk if they push him any further," with Frieza responding, "Well, that sounds like a power-up, so let's test your theory." In which, just as we've seen go down in the movie, with Frieza being shown having to death beam Paragus through the chest, and at the same time winning an Oscar and being one of the best actors on the battlefield, that was when Frieza went on to address Broly by then telling him, "Look, Broly, your dear father was struck and killed by a stray energy blast." To which, of course, subsequently had then resulted in Broly having to lose his mind in transforming into his full-powered state. As the narration went on to continue, surely enough, the death of Broly's father triggered a rampage, granting the Saiyan power eclipsing that of Goku and Vegeta's own strength. However, by fusing into Gogeta, the pair managed to overcome even Broly's awesome might. Broly, along with Lemmo and Chilai, who had left Frieza's army, had escaped back to Planet Vampa, where Broly from there had officially called Planet Vampa home. In which, when then going back onto Beerus' planet and seeing just about how Broly was going to do the exact same thing that he had done on Earth against Goku and Vegeta, we from then on slowly but surely now begin to see how Broly was starting to slip into that rageful state as Goku then went on to shout, Hey, hold on, slow down, man. Oh, you were about to go nuts again, weren't you? Oh, it's like I keep saying, you gotta keep that side of you in check, with Broly responding, sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, well, any words of wisdom, Vegeta? But Vegeta was not going to say a word, because while Goku was shown engaging with Broly, Vegeta instead was shown having to meditate, as Goku from there then went on to ask, hey, you wanna help out or what? You'll get rusty just sitting there forever. Silence, Vegeta responds, don't disturb me. Oh, training through meditation, huh? You of all people? Oh, that's new. Jiren, Broly, Moro, Gas, and now even Frieza, Vegeta went on to respond. I was shown to be inferior to all these foes in our recent years, so what did they have that I lack? With Goku asking, oh, well, it just means that you gotta train your body more, right? Incorrect. Our physical bodies have long since been honed to their limits. In that respect, our training already made us on par with those opponents. Wait, really? Goku asks, as Vegeta went on to continue, the key difference lies in how we wield our power. There's still too much access, too much wasted energy when we fight. To command 100% of our power, we must force our bodies and spirits to relax outside of the movements when we attack. Oh, relax? Goku asks. Attacking in a relaxed state keeps the enemy from reading one's moves. Doing so allows for instantaneous explosive power and will also preserve stamina. Our foes are capable of that, Vegeta went on to continue. I am not, so this phase of my training must take place in my own mind. To which from out of nowhere, as Whis was now shown descending on down, it was only just upon with Whis now being shown acknowledging Vegeta's wisdom where Whis went on to then respond, fabulous, Vegeta, I must say, and to reach such a conclusion all on your own. Focusing solely on beefing up one's muscles does not amount to proper training on its own, Whis went on to lean in by telling Goku, hey, that's easier said than done, as Whis went on to continue, well, I guess we'll see, but oh wait, I know, how about a match between you three boys to test these theories? 3, Vegeta went on to ask, Broly included? Surely you jest, with Goku responding, well, he's gotten better, I admit, but you still gotta watch out for this guy, because, well, if he snaps, then, well, say bye-bye to this planet, with Whis responding, well, fair point. Okay, how about just you and Vegeta then? Broly, you will sit back and observe a battle where neither party is permitted to rage out of control. Okay, sure, Broly says, but then, it was only just when Beerus was finally shown having to now wake up from his nap in approaching Whis, where Beerus then went on to shout, Whis, how long was I napping for? Oh, good morning, Whis responds. Well, in terms of Earth time, you were asleep for about 4 months. Oh, jeez, I barely slept at all, Beerus responds, not with all this racket and that tasty food that I smell. Wait, hang on, I know you, Beerus went on to squint on over by responding. Well, that would be Broly, Whis says. Ah, Broly? What's he doing at my place? Beerus shouts, with Goku responding, hey, well, Frieza can't really show up here, right? So, we just grabbed him from his home planet for peace of mind and safety's sake. Bro, did I say that you can bring house guests? This isn't a hotel! But then, it was only during mid-shout as Beerus went on to smell something tasty, where Beerus then went on to ask, what's this? And who are you? Lemo, sir, a former member of Frieza's army. I really appreciate the hospitality. To which, as Beerus was now shown having to oversee the food that Lemo was making just as we've seen go down in the movie, it was only just when Beerus was now shown calling Lemo forward where Beerus went on to then respond, well, that explains the smell, now come here. To where as we just now begin to see how Beerus was beginning to taste Lemo's food and enjoying it, that was when Beerus then went on to shout, oh, dang, that's tasty. Well, what was your job when you were under Frieza? With Lemo responding, just chores and odd jobs, sir. Sometimes kitchen duty. Fantastic. You can stick around, Beerus responds. Oh, what a letdown, Sheila then went on to butt in by responding, barely any valuables to be found on this damn rock. Sheila, shush! In which the moment Sheila had now realized that the gods were now beginning to watch her, that was when Sheila quickly went on to turn around by shouting, don't mind me! And who's this, Beerus asks. The name's Sheila, sir, and you're the god of destruction, Beerus, Lord Beerus? That's right, Beerus responds. Oh, the most feared entity in the whole universe? In which, in a very out-of-character way, as Beerus was now finding some sort of fascination behind having to see Sheila for the first time, we can only now begin to see how Beerus, for the first time, was now beginning to blush, as Beerus went on to then respond, stay as long as you'd like. What? What's going on here, Goku asks. Well, Lord Beerus has a type, and his tastes are shockingly basic. Well, anyhow, with all distractions aside, let's get this match going. Last man standing wins. No transformations, no Kamehameha, or any such ranged attacks. Are we all ready now? With Goku then responding, sorry, but maybe could we get something to eat first? I'm starving. Oh goodness, Saiyans are such characters, Whis responds. To where a little later on, as we then make our way back onto Earth and seeing as to how Piccolo had now reached Kame's lookout in speaking to Dende, it was just upon with Piccolo now being shown reaching Dende where Piccolo then went on to ask, do you know what's going on? Oh, I do, Dende says. I've been watching from up here. Well, I need a small favor, Piccolo says. Okay, well, how can I help? Well, I heard that back on planet Namek, the Great Elder drew out Krillin and Gohan's latent potential, Piccolo says. Well, yes, I was there to witness it, with Piccolo responding, well, I need you to do that for me. What? You want me to? That's right, I'm guessing you can. You're the same type of Namekian that the Great Elder was, with Dende responding, well, unfortunately, I won't be capable of that until I'm older. Ooh, are you serious? Yeah, but hey, why don't you use the Dragon Balls? The Dragon Balls, Piccolo asks. Yeah, just wish for the Red Ribbon Army to go poof and vanish, right? Oh, that wouldn't sit well with your pride, huh? Dende continues. Well, I guess you could always ask Shenron to draw out your latent potential the way the Great Elder could, right? Wait, really? Can Shenron do that for me, Piccolo asks. Well, yeah, after the upgrade, I think so. Oh, but do I have the time to gather them, though? With Dende continuing, well, actually, I believe that Bulma already has all 7 in hand. She's been using her ample resources to collect them now for years, so she gathers them all up and makes what one might call, I guess, frivolous wishes so that no one else can just use them for evil. Well, it's our lucky day then, Piccolo says. In which upon Piccolo now being shown having to call Bulma, that was when Piccolo went on to ask, Bulma, it's me again. Well, yeah, I hear you loud and clear, Bulma says. What now? Listen, do you happen to have the Dragon Balls on site? Sure do, in fact. I've got the whole set, as Piccolo went on to respond, great. I'm sure you went through a lot of trouble in finding them, but do you mind letting me use them? What? Bulma shouts. It's important, okay? No doubt your wishes aren't trivial anyway. Oh, excuse you, there's nothing trivial about them, Bulma shouts, but fine, if it matters that much to you. Also, I found that comms device, but Whis isn't picking up, with Piccolo responding, I wonder what's got him so preoccupied, but never mind that. I'm headed your way now, so I'll meet you at your garden. Oh, you've got it, Bulma says. To where as soon as Piccolo was now shown having to head towards Bulma's garden, and also bidding goodbye to Korin and Yajirobe as well, in which in the meantime, when then going back onto Beerus' planet, similar to that of the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, as soon as everyone was then shown having to finally finish eating, with Goku and Vegeta now getting set and having to fight each other, the moment Whis had gone as far as to declare for both of them to begin, that was when Goku and Vegeta were then shown having to finally fight, as the overall fight itself was not that much different compared to that of the film itself, but we can all now start to clearly see that in their base forms, the two of them only appear to be fighting on an equal basis, with neither one of them holding the advantage over the other early on, but this was nonetheless very crucial for Broly having to oversee this, as of course the entire goal here is to help Broly understand the basis of not losing control or going as far as to lose his mind during any battle or situation that he ends up finding himself in, which also kind of goes as far as to limit both Goku and Vegeta, since they can't use their strongest forms in finding out which one of them is in fact superior, to which nevertheless, as Beerus, Sheila, Broly, and Whis were now shown having to observe this, that was when Beerus went on to oversee the fight by responding, Vegeta's moves have changed ever so slightly immediately, he went on to add. Well, the fruits of his training, perhaps, Whis asks? Blah, this could take a while. Ugh. Say, how about some dessert in the meantime, Beerus asks. Well, perhaps some ice cream, Whis suggests. Vegeta had brought us quite a bit. Oh, and let me go and grab that, Sheila says. I mean, may I go fetch some? Oh, sure, Beerus responds. I'll lend you a hand. Oh my, Whis responds, to which the only person here that seems to even care of seeing Goku fight Vegeta is in fact none other than Broly, which even now, after the fact with everyone being shown having to eat their ice cream with the exception of Broly, with a gigantic whirlwind now being shown having to be displayed right dead center in front of Beerus's lake, Beerus by no means seemed to be impressed by any of this with the exception of Broly, as Beerus went on to chime in, well, he's not very special, huh? In which the moment Vegeta had gone as far as to throw Goku's body on down towards the bottom of the lake in creating a massive tsunami up above on the surface, in typical fashion, just as we've seen go down in the film with Beerus shown creating a barrier for everybody with the exception of Broly, it didn't even seem as though this bothered Broly whatsoever, as Whis then went on to chime in, whoa, how thoughtful of you, Lord Beerus, protecting someone in particular, perhaps? Now quit yapping and eat your food, Beerus went on to then shout, to where of course it had only now become fairly evident that the reason why Beerus had now done this was solely only for Sheila, in which when then going back onto Earth and seeing as to how Piccolo was now beginning to summon Shenron, that was when Piccolo then went on to shout, Shenron, come forth and grant me this wish. State your desires and I shall grant. Oh, Master Piccolo, Shenron says. Hi, Shenron, can you draw out my latent potential to the limit just like the great elder used to do? Why, yes, of course, thanks to my upgrade, Shenron responds. Is that your first wish? It is. Make it so, to which as Shenron was now shown granting Piccolo his wish, everything had now appeared to be the exact same just as we've seen go down in the film, with really no additional added context to the means of what Piccolo had just done by using Shenron to make this wish, because now of course we understand that what Shenron had done was draw out Piccolo's full potential onto the surface, with the only exception of course being that Piccolo did not assume the position of having to think that he had an orange form, because everything that Piccolo had seen and felt now was assumingly everything that he was, only for that to ultimately change later on in proving him wrong, of course, in which a little later on, of course, just as we've seen go down within the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, with the Red Ribbon Army now making it clear that they were going to go after Gohan's daughter and having to use Pan as bait to draw Gohan out, it was only just while on this ship with one of the Red Ribbon soldiers where the Red Ribbon soldier went on to address Piccolo by responding, not much for conversation, are you? You nervous? I guess so, Piccolo responds. How is this kidnapping going to work? Her school should be over for the day pretty soon. Her mom or whoever's gonna show up to get the girl, we wait for the right moment and bam, we nab them both. And Piccolo looks disgusted as the soldier continues, you hanging in there? Uh-huh. I heard from 79 about your tummy troubles. Yeah, sure, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, we're nearly there, so don't have an accident in the vehicle, okay? Okay, Piccolo says, in which with the Red Ribbon Army's plan now going into motion by going after Gohan, it was only right then and there now during that moment where Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 93 then comes to a close. Now, in my own opinion, you can make no mistake about the fact that I think that the manga adaptation for the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie is fairly now portrayed to be much better than the events that we've seen go down in the film, especially since the movie was supposed to limit all of the knowledge involving Moro and Gas and Black Frieza, because the movie adaptation wasn't really supposed to dwell within anything that had happened within the manga thus far, in which with Vegeta now being shown having to express and shed more light on his experiences with Broly, Jiren, Moro, Gas, Frieza, and even briefly having to see the expansion of the Broly film early on in this chapter do I think was a cool thing, but I think we can all agree in coming together to say that the superhero film didn't really need to get expanded this much, only because there's really not much that's new in a sense to where there's only a brief expansion upon seeing Goku train with Vegeta, Broly being shown training with Goku and stuff like that, right? But what I would like to know from you guys down in the comment section below right now are 4 specific things, beginning with number 1, on a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being absolute trash and with 5 being phenomenal, what would you guys rate Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 93 on a scale of 1 to 5? Question number 2 is, will the training that Goku, Broly, and Vegeta undergo on Beerus' planet be enough to actually allow them to surpass and defeat Black Frieza in the future, since that is the current goal that they're currently working on right right now. Question number 3 is how different do you believe that Gohan and Piccolo's battle with Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 is going to be coming up next, when going as far as to compare that to the film, since everything seems to be slightly different in the manga than of course what we've seen go down within the movie. And lastly, question number 4 is at what point do you guys believe that the superhero manga adaptation is going to conclude involving Orange Piccolo, Beast, Gohan, and Cell Max by the very end? Because at this rate, I don't see this manga arc concluding until somewhere around the fall, which even then I hope there's more of an explanation behind what Beast Gohan is and actually seeing a more expanded fight involving Cell Max and Beast Gohan. But either way, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts down in the comment section below, to where once more I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time, in which if you also just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you guys enjoyed. Tune back in for so much more, and with all that being said, I want to thank you all once more, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy everybody and have a great day. Peace!
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.